everyone out, especially young people, they have to work. Doesn't matter what you work. You want to work, you like to be like a beach bar guy, go work. You like to be work in a beach sport, go work. You want to be waiter, you want to be whatever you want, just work and try. And if you want to be in a different place, or you want to be in a higher position, or you want to work for a company, don't first of all, be patient and don't give up.
Here we are, another session of the Financial Frontiers podcast. Today I have a great guest, somebody who's very well known in the industry, been in the industry for quite a long time, a veteran of sorts, Louay Amhaz. Amhaz. Louay Amhaz. I saw recently the post, big career change for you recently. I wish you all the best of luck. Please tell us about yourself, Louay. Tell us where you're from, your background. Let's have a nice conversation over here.
Thank you, Dinos. Thank you for also having me today. My name is Louay Amhaz. I'm originally from Lebanon, from Beirut. I live in Cyprus for the last 23 years. As a work, I've been working for the last 13 years in the Fintech industry. Before that, I used to work in actually a different domain, very far away from what I'm doing today. It's mainly on textile and advertisement as well. Was like one of the marketing companies in the market as well, that they focus on the airports. And then I've worked for one small broker, for like a Forex broker, for about 2 months. And to be honest, I didn't feel like I can work on the retail side of business, like facing traders. So I've moved to the institutional side, or the B2B business, on the Fintech, in the Fintech industry, and I've joined PrimeXM as my first job in the Fintech industry. Then after 3 years working with them, I have moved to 10, and I stayed there for the last 8.5 years.
Wow.
Straightforward. Yeah. It's I've learned, to be honest, from my previous experience outside of the industry. I've learned a lot, to be honest. Is that I've gained a lot of knowledge, basically, on how to communicate with people and to have a confidence to speak with everyone. Because you're in the street, you're just like communicating on a daily basis with people, different ethnics, different type of people, which at some point, a lot of people, they think that it's not good to do that, but actually it's like you are in a school, like you start in like first grade, second grade, and then you go to elementary, then university. So you gain a lot of knowledge of how to communicate with the people, and it helps you for your future career, because you start from a different level, then you go to another different level, which the most important in our industry is to have a confidence. Otherwise, especially who is like on the front line of the business.
Yeah,
and communicating with.
So you're talking about your experience that you got in the textiles company industry that you're working with.
Exactly.
So they speak, and then when you say textiles, like clothing, fashion, or
exactly. Yeah. it helps you. It helps you as well to know how to dress, because uh, it's very important. It's very important, and anything you do in your life is to have a nice look as well when you attend any meetings. It's the first impression. Like people before they speak with you, they
Of course.
uh,
If you
they
don't,
look at you.
yeah,
Yeah, they
you
look
know,
at
because
yeah.
it's also a reflection on the respect that you have for yourself.
That's true.
If you look, you look good, and today you're looking sharp as always,
Thank you.
Louay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
I mean,
Diaz.
that's
Same as
something that I did notice. Generally, we we normally see each other at the expos and whatever it is. You're always looking chic and span. So, yeah. So the textile is interesting. Yeah, and I agree with that. Whatever experience anyone gains, whether that is, within a specific sector and you expand on that sector into other, let's call it roles or whatever it is in the same industry, or whether that is, from a completely different vertical, right? You always pick up something that you learn from. And, what do we do as people, as humans? We build these, let's call them templates of, our skill. As we gain more skill, we just build templates that we apply in different scenes, right? That's
true.
what we
That's
do,
true. That's
right?
true.
So,
And this is actually this would be helpful, especially for the young generation today. I mean, not to like I have my son, for example. Like every time when we talk, like, oh, I want to be a businessman. I want to be this. I want to be that. And when he came one day and he told me, like, Dad, he's 16 years old. He said to me, I want to work. And I said to him, yeah, no problem. You can work. What do you want to work? Anything. He said, I found a position at one of these fast food restaurants. And I was actually happy.
yes.
Actually happy. Even the money that they were giving it to him is nothing comparing of what I give him on a weekly basis. So it's nothing. It's not even like one shoes that I buy for him for his basketball.
Exactly.
So, but I was happy because it's a way of learning, getting knowledge on, again, like communicating with people, being humble. Not to think like because if you're not humble, at the end of the day, you won't be able to succeed, because the people, they will look at you. Maybe you have a good character, or you have how to say, like they say it in Greek, like kalopsyche.
Yeah.
Maybe you are like this, but when you wear a mask of like not being humble and communicate with the people, and to go to have like a low profile, people, they think that you're arrogant. They don't want to talk to you. They feel like, oh, I don't want to talk to this guy, or like hi from far away. So for him, I was happy because it's going to help him for his future.
Of course.
It's gonna be good credit for his future, because he's learning experience. He's knowing as well. He's learning like how to be able to to succeed. You want to be a businessman? Yeah. Start from zero.
Yes, exactly.
Don't think like if I come and I give you money and I say like, okay, here's a capital of a company, and you don't have any experience, especially because who's the consumers? It's the people. So if you don't have the ability to communicate with them, and if you don't have the talent, you won't be able to convince anyone, even buying chewing gum from you.
Of course.
So
people can read into the background that you've had, right?
Exactly.
And I think one of the things, like, many people that are within our industry that, are successful in whatever it is, have a lot of money, the generation, so the children that, so like your child, right?
Yeah.
That's something that's really good. I think you've done something right there, where your son's come to you and said, I want to go and work somewhere, right? That's something that I keep trying to drill into my kids. I don't want them to think that money is just available, and then and have them come to a point where they think, I'm too cool to flip burgers.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
You go flip burgers, dude.
Yeah,
because I was forced in that position. Well, I never flipped burgers, but I pumped petrol.
Yeah.
That's what I did, right? I mean, you start from somewhere, you got to. So,
and to agree on this, actually, the first day he went to work, he came back home and he said like, hey, Dad, I've changed the dustbin bag today. It was like, okay.
First time
He
in his
never
life.
ever, yeah,
What
first
an
time 6
experience.
years old. So he just, which is good,
100%.
to learn to be disciplined.
Yes.
And that's, I was like, for him, it was like, wow, he did like an achievement. For me, I was really proud because
Yes.
this is where you start to be, or you go on the right track. And slowly, it's like the steps.
Exactly.
Like the ladder, you go one by one. If you run, definitely you will fall down. Definitely. There is no doubt about it.
And I think, it also helps to living a really happy life.
Exactly.
If you start from really slim pickings, right, where you start, you all the achievements and the small milestones that you get, is a build up, the dopamine and living, a happy life is
Yeah.
having these targets and building towards that and achieving those goals builds your confidence, builds your self-esteem. You gain this knowledge and whatever it is. And over the years that go past, as you achieve your own milestones, that I think just creates a lot of a good self-esteem and internal,
That's
fulfillment.
True. That's true. And also, especially in these days, whoever think that he can make money or easily without like sweat and without or sitting on a couch just watching TV the whole day, it's a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And the social media as well is helping, like currently is helping to some people that ruins their life or ruins their future. And that's why everyone out, especially young people, they have to like work. Doesn't matter what you work. You want to work, you like to be like a beach bar guy, go work. You like to be work in a beach sport, go work. You want to be waiter, you want to be whatever you want, just work and try. And if you want to be in a different place, or you want to be in a higher position, or you want to work for a company, don't like, first of all, be patient and don't give up. Just keep going. We've heard about a lot of stories, like one of them, for example, KFC. The guy, he was on a 65 years old, and he was living in a caravan. Yes. So he doesn't have, and he learned this recipe that he was like doing it for his family and for his friends, and they like it. So he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have any income, and he was suffering, and he doesn't know what to do. And he took this recipe that he had, and he went around the restaurants in USA and trying to sell it. Yeah. And he tried over than 1,000 times, and he failed.
Yes.
And then he got succeed, and he managed to sell his recipe. And today it's a company that we are talking of capital of billions of dollars. So the point here is that never give up on anything that you want to do. Work hard for it. You will achieve it. It's just having this positive thoughts. It will lead you to anywhere you want.
100%. Yeah. So in your journey of working hard, you were in the brokerage firm for 2 months. You saw you didn't want... the retail side wasn't really a good fit for you. You moved to the institutional. Let's hear your feedback here. Generally, how have you seen the industry evolve? You're talking about a 13-year background here. So in 2010, 2009, when you started
on the fintech side.
On the fintech side, yeah, on the fintech, which has completely changed, in terms of the landscape and how it is. Let's hear your background. So let's talk about Prime XM, your technologies. What do you see on the institutional side?
On the institutional side, I'm going to talk like as a bridge providers and connectivity and aggregation from this part. of course, technology always, if I didn't like it and if it's not my passion and I didn't like, I wouldn't be able to sell or convince anyone to get a software or anything, even a pen, if I don't love it and I don't care or I have the passion to it, which is the most important, to have it on your side, so you'll be able to succeed. Otherwise, if it will be just a script you're reading, and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people, they don't feel your emotions, they don't feel anything when you're talking to them. They just like a robot speaking to me.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not going to lead to anywhere. Might succeed, but might not last.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh, so from like a bridge point of view, it's a technology that it does help the brokers and it helps as well the end users, which is the traders. First of all, from the broker side, that they will be able to deliver the service that they have demands from the traders for it, or they get demands or requests, like an open, like an access to the market. At the same time, to be able to provide them with the best prices, execution, and the prices, of course, is based on the aggregation, because today there's a huge competition in the market, like on the B2B or institutional side or retail side. There's a huge competition. There's thousands and thousands of forex brokers in the market, and banks today, they started as well to tap on the retail industry. Let's not forget that.
Directly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
for their clients,
Mm-hmm.
because they have
Okay.
their clients, which is because of course banks, they are, when you are a client of a bank, of course they know your transactions. Every time you do transaction, they see where it's going, where it's landing, and definitely, and the bank, they see that, especially as well during the pandemic, they saw all these huge amounts that where they are landing, and there were most of them landing in forex companies or trading funds, or even gambling, betting, and the gaming industry. Of course, banks, they cannot open a gambling, online gambling. It's not,
Yes.
it doesn't fit to their policy. It doesn't fit to their
It's not their
style, to
business.
their business. Everything trust.
Yeah.
There is a trust here, and there is a super high risk, and at the same time, they cannot offer betting. So the only thing that they can do it is that, okay, they have their internal institutional and like shares that they offer it to their clients, so they can buy and sell, which is the traditional orthodox way, like, hello, we have this product, and would you like to invest, because you might be like a VIP client at this bank. So when they see that most of there's a lot of money is going to the retail industry and ending up on a broker's side, most of them, they have decided recently like to adopt a trading platform, retail trading platform. And of course, for the traders, if the bank, they will be able to provide them with the same terms as they have it from the retail or forex brokers, a client from the trader, on the client side, the trader, he would be more than happy, and he will feel more safe because he's dealing with a bank. And especially if it's his local bank, it's not like a random brokerage firm that they say that they are existed globally, but maybe they are not existing in his country. So and at the same time, uh, always you say like, just automatically, because this banking system has been created since long time. They have created it because of the like people, they were saving all their money in their houses, and they get stolen, or an earthquake they go, or whatever is happening, like in nature and impacts that it happen, and or get stolen, and they end up like they lose all their assets or their funds. So banks has been created as a safe box and secured place where I can put all my funds and I just like sleep uh,
Yes.
uh,
It's not under my pillow and then I wake up and it's gone.
Exactly. Okay. Today we can see as well people they are complaining about banks that they are stealing their money at some point, like they are. Like the banks, they are ripping them off from charges and holding their money and taking this money and lending it somewhere else. And they're making investment with this money as a banks, but the client, he's not getting
Let's
any
not forget
kickback.
the bail-in
Yeah.
that happened with Louay.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but yeah, I mean, generally speaking, that is, people generally, and I think this, even though there has been these bail-ins and, there's some, let's call it the way the banks work, that is really to the favor of, the investor, the holder, the client,
Yeah.
The normal standard Joe, average Joe who has their money there. There's, I think there's a lack of knowledge, I guess, in terms of what the banks are doing. There's nothing foolproof, right?
Yeah.
And now banks, as you mentioned, because of the pandemic, they saw this massive flow into brokers, as you've mentioned. Like, what kind of banks have? Well, there's so many questions that I've got here. The one is, what trading platform have they adopted?
There's, to be honest, I've been across some of them that they have adopted MT5.
Really, eh?
Yeah,
So
MetaTrader 5, because, of course, let's not forget, MetaTrader 5 is different than 4.
Of course.
Because it gives you like a huge variety and access, which you can say like direct market access. And the flexibility they have there for having a multi-asset product, which banks style, let's say. Some of them, they have used other trading platforms, could be in-house. They have developed internally where they had it and they improved it recently. So they will be able, like they had it for institutional, and they have improved it to be as well for the retail.
Okay.
Or they create like a sub platform of it, which focus just on the retail so they can accommodate their clients. And there's a lot of platform providers today in the market, especially recently. We can see so many companies.
So, like, which banks have done that that you're aware of, if you want to mention?
I've seen some in the GCC countries, to be honest. In Dubai and UAE, some of them they have already started, and some of them they are in the process of having it as well, and some as well in different countries that they present themselves as a bank, but they are not.
It's also a different regulation, right? I think a bank, to be a bank licensed bank, doesn't necessarily mean that they're regulated and are allowed to have traders yet. But maybe their credibility as a bank organization or whatever it is, already regulated, strict regulation, gives them that head start to get the license that's needed for investments.
That's true. Some banks, they have created like a sub-entity, which is connected, like under the same umbrella, which is connected. And for example, like there's a bank in Saudi Arabia, which is Riyadh Bank, which is one of the royal banks in the country. They have created like a Riyadh capital, so they can accommodate like retail.
Or even clients. Like Revolut. So is Revolut a bank?
Revolut? Today they are a bank, yes.
Right.
Today they are a bank.
So in the same app, you can go and
you can do whatever you want. You can trade cryptos or any. It's a multi-asset, and they are today an FCA regulated bank, which is something very good actually. And it's an achievement. It's an achievement. And actually, this gives you a good example. Is like how they started. Like slowly, we remember like long time ago, you say to anyone like Revolut,
I don't know.
What is Revolut? Today, when you say Revolut, like if you meet 10 people, 9 of them, they know what is Revolut. And they tell you, yeah, we have an account.
Especially in
yeah,
Europe.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Especially in Europe, because it's based on the regulations as well. Yeah.
So, on the bridge side, Louay, you've had extensive involvement in the bridge technologies. How's that? The aggregation. You've mentioned aggregation. There's an aggregation, as I understand it, of course, is getting quotes from multiple providers, feeding them into one liquidity, let's call it pool, and then the best price goes out to the end trader. So there's a whole lot of different technologies that are linked up to aggregation, for example, and then you've got like risk management, and then you have the different connections to more LPs. How does all that manage? There's latency. There's all of this. What have you, in your experience, have you seen as being the biggest challenge, right, for a bridge, technology-wise?
The biggest challenge, and everyone would be looking for today in the market from the broker's point of view, which is where they would be able to offer the best execution to their clients and ultra low latency. And most of the technology providers today, and especially on the bridges side, no matter what you create on your side or from tools or whatever you have, like risk management, etc., yes, it helps the brokers of managing the risk. However, without having a best execution there and offering the ultra low latency is not going to benefit them from the trader's point of view. To get back to the point that there's a lot of competitors today in the market on the retail and Forex industry, and there's so many brokers. To get back to that point, so everyone today, they are trying to do their best where they can attract more and more traders to their side by having the best execution, less costs, like less fees adding to them, and best execution, fastest withdrawal, whatever. Like you see them today, they created awards out of them. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're getting award. It means that you are doing it. It's just that they have created award out of it because it's something that it helps the trader and improve their business from the marketing point of view. When they go and they market it as best execution, best connectivity, best whatever it is, there is to attract audience there so they can come and work with them. Of course, just by opening an account as a trader, you will find out that if you're having best execution, especially if you're a professional trader. And in order to achieve this as a bridge provider, they need to have a solid infrastructure. The solid infrastructure, it means that you're building, to simplify it for the traders, because some of the traders, they don't know how does it work on the back end. They just have been told that you're connected to this trading platform, and this trading platform is connected to the bank, and that's it.
The details.
Yeah. So many of them, they say, okay, and they tell them it's an STP process, straight through process and all this stuff. So, or ECN. And how does it work exactly? Is that you're a broker. You have your trading platform. You want to, in order to be able to get best prices, you have to aggregate, which means that you don't get your prices and execution just from one source. If you use one source, you're not going to be able to provide, unless that they are like a PB, which that they are aggregating on their side, and which is PB, which is prime broker, who will be connected to multiple banks, non-banks, liquidity provider, and aggregating the feed and passing it to you directly. This is in case if you're connected to one source. Of course, in order to achieve this as a broker, you need like a high requirement. There's a super high requirement there.
In terms of?
In terms of deposits, in terms of capital, balance sheet, so many things in order to achieve that point, which is required by the BB in order to accommodate you. So if you go today, for example, to JP Morgan, or if you go to Barclays or any one of these, and you say to them, "Oh, I'm a broker, and I want to open an account with you where I can get prices from your side for FX, CFDs, whatever you're offering there as a services or product," the first thing they like to pass through their KYC only, it might take you between 6 months to 1 year just to pass through their KYC. And definitely we are talking about 6 figures in order to open an account with them.
Commitment.
Exactly. In order to have like when you want to open a margin or something like you do with a broker, like a broker side, they tell you start maybe from $500 or $1,000. Yeah. There you have to make it times 100 maybe in order to be able to be accepted. And this is if you pass their KYC. So it's again going back to the regulations, yes, which at some point can be a huge obstacle for a broker based on their their UOBs and or
UBOs,
UBOs, or based on their balance sheet, or so many things, so many obstacles. But as a broker, they can achieve this as well and do an aggregation where they will be able to provide the best prices, the best bid and ask prices to their clients by using a bridge, which is, let's say that we have in Cyprus that the IEC, which is the electricity authority, for example. Yes, yes. So you have a plug in your house, but this plug is connected to a wire. And a wire is connected to, let's say, to the main station in your area. And your main station is connected to the main station of the electricity, where they have the lot of engines and systems, and where they are running and making sure to balance the electricity, not to cause you fire in the house, and so many things that they are running on your side. But this plug is reaching you to the main source, is like leading you to the main source. The bridge today in the market, this is its job, is that to be able to connect to a multiple liquidity provider, or PB, where you will be able to aggregate, to manage your risk, to be able to as well get the best execution. On the other hand, if you don't have a good infrastructure and exist in the main data centers, where are these liquidity providers or banks, they are exist, and or their pricing engine is exist, you won't be able, as a bridge provider, you won't be able to provide a low latency and best bid and ask prices to the broker. That's why when you hear some of the bridge providers, when you talk to them, they tell you like, we have an Equinix, LD4, NY4, TY3, Hong Kong, etc. Is that an access as well so you can get the best execution, and at the same time to protect the brokers from any abusers, because some traders, they are abusers. There are some decent traders in the market, and there is also other traders which could be abusers, like arbitrageurs, scalpers, where they can as well cause losses for the broker. And of course, these type of traders, and they have the knowledge, and they are professional, or they have robots sitting on their side that they have developed, which can detect the latency, and it will be the way for them to generate revenue from you by scalping or arbitraging or whatever it is type of trade that they are using on their side. in order to avoid all this, so once you use a bridge provider, you have to make sure that he's really going to provide you with the best execution based on the latency that is going to be provided and based on the existing data centers that they have where it should be in the same location. Like to have an optimal setup always is to have everything in one location: your trading platform, your bridge, and your liquidity providers. This is where you eliminate any latency. To simplify it from the trader's point of view, let's say, for example, my device and your device or mobiles, they are connected to Wi-Fi, and your Wi-Fi router is in this room. Once we start walking outside this room, we will look at the bars. It's getting like lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
And we will see, like, if we are on a call, we will see like there's an interruption, or we are sending message or texting connected to the using WhatsApp or Viber, whatever it is, or Telegram. You will see that the messages like just keep on loading and loading and loading and loading. And this is a text, and definitely a text. And this is, if you are sending a text, you get frustrated if you see that it's happening to you. Imagine if you are a trader and you have $100 or $1 million a trade, you just like click it, and you see your trade is just like loading and loading. You get a heart attack immediately. You just like go to it's like finish.
100%.
Exactly. So this is what satisfies the trader, and the broker needs to provide this by finding the right or proper technology provider who's going to need to work with. Of course, some brokers, they as well abuse this technology in a way that they can steal traders by, for example, creating or doing unethical things. For example, that's my opinion. For example, like asymmetric slippage, which creating slippage for the clients, where like the client, he trades on a number, he just like clicked and he hit the trade, but it's been executed on other number because they created this delay where they didn't allow them. Instead of winning, they are losing.
How can a trader know that that's been done to them? Because, you know, when we talk about slippage, right? And when we say asymmetric slippage, slippage could go either way. Like the way the markets work, because of latency, you know, latency can be avoided up to a certain point. And you did touch on that before, where you spoke about, you know, Equinix. You mentioned LD4, whatever it is. For the people who don't know what that is, Equinix is a data center where all the servers of banks and PBs, prime brokers, liquidity providers, etc., are. And if you have your trading platform in that same data center, obviously it means that there's a shorter latency, and that's what that relates to. So now, with regard to asymmetric slippage, right? If a trader trades and then they see, because slippage can happen, as I said, you know, if you're connecting to a broker and you're sitting in South Africa and the broker is in London, you're going to have latency, right? There's going to be 120 milliseconds just on the connectivity.
That's true.
And then there's processing time on the server. And then if the broker is actually doing STP, because you also mentioned STP, straight through processing, where they send it, actually they do send it to the market, to the bank.
That's true.
And then by the time it comes back, the requested price that the trader sent might not be the same.
That's true.
And the actual slippage that happened is actually correct. And it could be either to the favor of the trader or to the not in favor of the trader. Not in favor of the trader. Is there a way that traders can pick up if the slippage has been forced?
Of course, if it's happening very often, yes, it's obvious.
Okay.
Unless the point that you mentioned, that if the broker is the trader, let's assume the trader is in mainland China, where we have this
The
great
Chinese
firewall.
Yeah.
And the broker is in London. The trader need to make sure before he start or he open an account with the broker is to make sure that this broker has the ability to bypass the great firewall, where he will be able to provide the trader with the best execution. Otherwise, the trade won't arrive.
Mhm.
Sometimes won't arrive, and sometimes may arrive after 600 milliseconds or 1 second even, which means it's gone. He lost. So the trader needs to make sure to know what is the broker has on their side. The broker has the capability to create a setup where he will be able to accommodate these traders by having, for example, an existence or like an access server or server access in mainland China, for example, or to be where he can be close to his clients, so he can satisfy his clients, because definitely as well the broker, he will be losing, because if the client is not happy, they will just withdraw their money, they shut down their account, and they go somewhere else. So the broker has the ability to do it using the technology today, relying on a good hosting environment. It will help the broker to achieve and to keep the client satisfaction, and at the same time to avoid latency. This is if it's not asymmetric latency. When we say asymmetric latency, which means a broker, they are creating it by adding delays or something like that, which I believe at some point as well, from the regulatory point of view, they will be able to find out. It's just that it's a matter of getting this regulatories more and more educated, so they would be able to figure out what is going on. Because today, yes, there is regulations global, but they are still not that much educated about the forex industry, and the technology is changing day by day, day by day. Which they need to keep up to date, and at the same time, this technology that is changing, it could be as well at some point you will see as well some brokers, as I mentioned, that they have been targeted by abusers, which cause them losses. And you see as well the opposite, some brokers that they are targeting their clients, abusing their clients, and which they are forcing losses on their side using this technology. It's like a weapon. You have, for example, like a pistol in your house. You can have it to protect yourself, and you can have it to harm other people. It depends what you want to do on your side.
Understood.
Today as well, the AI, let's not forget. That the AI is if it's in the right hands, and in the right people, can make a lot of things to help people, or to help as well on the financial section, which many companies, they are using it today, and some of them, they are banks. Like today we hear JP Morgan, they are using AI, Goldman Sachs, they are using AI, many other companies as well, they are using AI.
So how are they using AI? How is JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs?
The beautiful thing about the AI is that, for example, today the most important information is the data, to analyze your data, because traders and if we talk about the institutional world and the institutional financial world, is today relies on a data, or analyzing data. So you can see what is happening in the market, so you can protect yourself from the losses, because any slight movement in the market, like wrong movement, can cause millions and millions of dollars. We are talking about an industry today. Like 9 years ago, we used to say it's 4 trillion. Today, I'm not sure how much, but I'm sure.
The daily volume? It's over 6.
Over the 6, So we're talking about huge trades, and numbers of trades and data is being processed on a daily basis, 24, even 24/7 today with the crypto and
Yep.
what's happening. Some companies that they are offering forex as well 24/7. But of course, we know there's no market there. It's just that they are having their prices going out. Let's be honest on the forex, because the market is closed Saturday, Sunday is closed. So you're just like passing prices to your clients. So which traders, they should be aware of this, because unless that they are gamblers.
The bank is so just to expand on that, what you're saying is, and if I've understood it correctly, let's take for example BTC USD, right?
Yeah.
It's a cross with the US dollar. The US dollar markets are closed, banks are closed in the weekend, right? The banks are closed. The generally the market is closed. There is no demand supply. Oil. The oil trades down. Everything's off.
Yeah.
So how is it possible that the Bitcoin is somehow getting some kind of a value against the dollar? Based off of what?
It's a market making.
Yeah.
It's market making. It's algorithmic, working on. They have developed a software, and they are like, which can get these prices just maybe like following like whatever is being closed on Friday, and just
from
like
there.
From there. Yes. But reality, the market is closed. There's no market, especially on the foreign exchange. Yeah.
So when you talk about AI, and the reason that I asked, what is JP Morgan? And
like for data analytics, to analyze data. Today as well, as you can see, that there's a problem with the workforce and the market in general. We have seen so many, even restaurants or like shops, they are relying on foreign, like bringing foreign from other countries, so they can do their job, because the local, they don't want to work. Some of them, they don't want to work. Some of them, they feel like they are like the amount or the wage that they are providing them, they can barely survive. Which for other people that it's coming from a foreign country or third world country, they doesn't matter for them, because they believe that they can save this money and they can just take it out as like send it to the family, and they can build something at the end of the day based on their country. And if it's like cheaper than here 10 times, of course it's going to matter for them. It's going to make it different. So, and this is global issues today. It's not only in Europe. It's a global issues. After the pandemic, I don't know, something happened with people. I don't know, what is it? I don't know. It's just that you see a lot of people that they became lazy. Honestly, they like, even some of them that they are getting like good wages, but they are lazy. You just see them not doing anything. It's just that, or they try like to just like to work for a company and just like stay like, oh, I'm doing 8 hours. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's it. And maybe you give them one task, which that it might take maximum 1 hour to do it. And he tells you, oh, it's sitting on my desk for 1 week. What did you do, my friend? So, okay. so there's these two types. Okay, type that they want to work, but they are not in their industry, because we have industries. In their industry, they are not getting like the right or the wages that they can afford living, so they can live. And there's other type, which is in other industries. Let's be honest, the financial industry today is the most payable industry in the market, global-wise. Not only in Cyprus. Of course, Cyprus is known as top because we can see it. We can see it because the financial industry is what is working today in the country: real estate and financial services. That's it. That's it. Of course, these They are bringing money and like feeding the rest, like restaurants, coffee
Yeah, there's
shops, and all this stuff.
tourism, there's
Yeah.
other pharmaceuticals to a little point, but
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
it's definitely a really big, important vertical for Cyprus, for the economy.
That's true. That's true. So because of this, like JP Morgan or other banks or other companies who's using today AIs, is to make sure that they can satisfy their clients. They use it for service, customer service. So if you want to come and hire like someone to answer like clients, oh, my account, I don't know, where's my transaction gone? Minor issues.
Easy to find.
Minor, yeah, easy to find. The AI can help, so it can answer the question, can be like of help and provide 24/7 where you can keep your client satisfied. Definitely. Of course, there are some people, they say, oh, the AI is going to take our place, it's going to take the human, and they go back to this movie Terminator, that the Skynet, and it's going to come and it's going to be like world invasion and humanity is going to dismiss and we will be hunted by the robots and all this stuff. Which is, I've seen many people, they believe in it today. I'm not sure if it's after drinking or because of drinking or what is it. So AI, no matter how much, especially like right now, AI cannot deal with emotions like a human being. AI cannot deal with critical situation because it doesn't recognize. For it is like if you try like the chat. GPT chat or something like that. You just write the question and you have an answer, for example, and it tells you in 1999. You're asking today, 2023.
Yeah.
The data is not available or doesn't have an access. Maybe some AIs has an access to this data around. Maybe, but it won't be able to replace humanity. Because there's sometimes that you need to have someone creative. AI is not creative. AI gives you a question and answer. And get from where they are getting this answer is from whatever is available.
It can be as creative as the data you've given it. So like you'll take a look at Mid-Journey, for example. It's quite incredible, like the images it can create, right? And it creates those images. You give it a text, a description of an image you imagine. For example, give me an old man sitting on a mountain in Japan, and whatever, and then it draws it up. But it draws it up from
whatever
already existing data.
Exactly.
So it picks it up and then
exactly whatever exists in the data.
Yes.
So it cannot be creative. It can be creative in this way that you're talking, just like it collects and creates for you the image that you want, but it cannot create image from scratch.
I mean, and I can speak firsthand on this, right? In terms of AI and the limitations that it currently exists in, and it's important to understand what AI actually can do and how you can leverage off of it as a tool, and what how you can implement and how you can leverage off of that to get to a specific goal. So, for example, you mentioned ChatGPT, and we've been working on ChatGPT in DGM for quite a while, right? And I'm going to take an opportunity over here to talk about DGM a little bit. So what we've done, and we're not ready yet, and we're using this internally, is we've taken ChatGPT, and now ChatGPT is quite incredible. I'm sure you've played with it, you speak to it. It's quite amazing what it can do. It's mind-blowing. Like you speaking to a machine, it's like, where are we?
Fast answer.
Yeah, a quick answer. It's not hard-coded. The way that it works is because it's got such a massive amount of text. When you give it an input, its output is based off of what is the next best words to respond to based on the text you gave it. So what we did, and now understanding that, is important in terms of what, the project that we're doing. And what we've done is we've integrated it to currently MetaTrader 5.
Yeah.
So what we do, and we're doing this internally. So what I've told my team here is we're going to create an agent that's going to replace you. But no one's leaving, right?
Yeah.
Because we're just going to make our jobs easier, right? So for example, please create this group for me on MT5.
Yeah.
We get these requests.
Yeah.
But an AI agent that understands natural language, now you integrate it to the APIs, it knows exactly what it needs to do, and it goes and it does it. So in theory, what I've just said is all good. Yeah. To actually get it to work is a whole other story. It still needs training. It's still whatever it is. But that scenario is actually very, very useful and powerful, AI.
For companies.
For companies.
Yeah, that's true.
So for example, here's another example. It's the middle of the night, and when, for example, the feed stops, we get this. Sometimes the feed has stopped for whatever reason. There is, and especially when you're experienced, you know what to look at.
Yeah.
You know what to look at. You know where to go and look at why is feed not currently working. And you start at the trading platform, then you move on to the data feeds, then you move on to the bridge, then you speak to the liquidity provider, etc., etc. Is it because the market's calm? Maybe session break, whatever it is.
Wrong configuration.
Wrong configuration, whatever it is. If it's 10 o'clock at night or whatever it is, or even during the day, and an AI agent will be able to respond on that, at least on the basics.
Yeah.
Why is my feed down? And then it knows. Where to check if you've trained it.
Yeah.
And then it responds. And then you can even give it an instruction. Yeah. Please reset or whatever. Because there's also, this is quite funny, how do IT solve most of their problems?
Yeah.
Press restart. Restart the machine.
Or troubleshoot.
Just restart. And everything's fixed. Yeah. That's my profession, right? So,
because it's connected to a server somewhere.
So there's a server somewhere. So restart the feed.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it fixes. Something happened, something jammed,
That's true.
So that's a little bit of information there. So it's challenging. I think as long as there are, tech providers who are pushing the tech, right?
That's true.
They keep trying to innovate, trying to figure this stuff out. That's what's going to make any technology progress. Right? I've mentioned that also before. So
as you said, like educated it.
Yeah.
So you're saying like educated. So this is as well at the same time, it's an answer for the people. When you are educated, the AI cannot replace you, because the AI is like a baby today. Yes. And you are just like feeding it to grow. And this baby is going to grow one day. But at the end of the day, it's a robot. No matter what is going to happen, it's a robot that is not going to replace human. It's not going to be, even like from a trust point of view. Like you can imagine that you have a robot and you say, "Oh, this is my friend." Okay.
Could that be?
Yeah. So,
could we? Is that what reality is going to become like in 20, 30 years?
I don't think so. And I don't wish to. I don't think so, because we human, we need emotions. We are involved. We are mixed of emotion, of sensitivity, of a lot of things that robot cannot give it.
Let me give you a story in a way. This is quite interesting, and this is off topic. So there's this one site, it's a dating site, or it's OnlyFans. OnlyFans. You know OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
So you subscribe. Now, there's also a lot of erotic stuff on OnlyFans, but there's also this, apparently, I heard this on the radio, in the UK, there's this one lady who on OnlyFans, right? You subscribe to her channel, and all she does is she shows herself brushing her teeth in the morning, and she's making like 16,000 pounds a month from brushing her teeth. Now, I don't know the details of that, so maybe she's brushing her teeth while she's wearing a nightgown and everything showing. I don't know, right? But here's another interesting one. Apparently, and I don't know how true this is. I heard this from a friend recently. Deep fakes. So somebody went and created artificial people. Generated artificial people, and created OnlyFans accounts with them. And banging it with subscribers. And
good.
And that's a robot. Now people are linked to this.
They can do as well, like artificial people, but they can with these apps that they create.
You can create
it's just different ways. It's you, but on the camera or on the other hand, they see different person. So it could be a man. So,
Nowadays we've lost touch of what's a man or a woman or whatever, right?
Also, something for the traders, the trader side, and when they are choosing as well brokers, to make sure like who they are dealing with, to make sure that they are regulated, they are exist in the market, they have a good reputation, because it's happening a lot of scams, and that's why we have seen like so many companies that have been targeted by the regulatories, and because of what they are doing. And to get back to the like abusive of clients as well, of traders, we have seen actually recently in Cyprus the regulatory, and this was the first time the regulatory, they have CISEC fined one company that it's a Fintech company. They gave them fine. I don't know the name of the company.
So a Fintech company that's not regulated.
It's not right now. You don't need the regulation right now at the moment, but I believe slowly they will push them to be regulated, because, as I mentioned, you can have a weapon in your house. You can use it to harm people, or you can use it to protect yourself. So some brokers, unfortunately, they are using it as well to harm traders. And these traders, because they don't have enough knowledge to know what is happening behind the scene, they believe this is the market, this is what's going on today, which there is still like a lot of them. At the same time, there is a professional traders, which is unlike how it used to be a long time ago. When it started, the Forex industry, it was just like a trading platform connected to Signal, and they are receiving prices. There's no market. It's not just getting these prices there. There's no liquidity provider, no execution, or they are just doing everything, and everything is being internalized, which is B-book. So the trader, it was actually pure gambling that time. So it's just that the trader, he plays his deposit, and he trades like 500, 1,000, whatever he's trading, or 100,000 or 1 million. He loses it and he just step out. But in reality, he's not trading with anyone. It still exists, actually. Some brokers, they are still doing it. Of course, might be somewhere unregulated in an unregulated jurisdictions or something like that. And they are, what surprised you, that they are doing good. As a broker, they are doing good because they are relying on these type of clients that they don't know what is happening there, or they are coming from a gambling mentality. It's not investment, because Forex industry could be gambling and could be an investment. It depends what do you want to do. If you want to jump and you want to be a trader, like someone told you, oh, come and trade today with Bitcoins, and they're making money. Actually, my daughter, she's 19 years old. She's studying lawyer.
You had your kids young.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's studying a lawyer, and she called me once and she said, like, Dad, I've watched this on YouTube. They're talking about like crypto, because unfortunately this is how kids, they've been as well influenced by the social the social media, they've been influenced as well, like, oh, go open an account in crypto, you trade and all this stuff. And some kids, they were faking IDs and going and opening an accounts. And today, because of the technology, like we're talking about Revoluts, all my kids, they have Revoluts. So I do send them, like, and control their expenses and where they are spending their money using this Revolut, which is something makes me feel confident to protect my kids. So they've been influenced, and they are going and just like opening an account, depositing money, and they are losing it. Because trading today is not like you go and you click, you trade. I don't trade, to be honest. I don't trade at all. Not even once.
Yeah.
And because if you want to really invest, you have to educate yourself.
100%.
You have to learn from the technical point of view, and you have to learn from the fundamental point of view. You have to watch news. You have to be alerted 24 hours. You have to be like, watch what's happening in the world, because earthquake can cause you losses. A president resign can cause you losses. An occupation, war, whatever it is happening. Everything can affect you, either positive or negative. So it's not just like you go and open, like you mean like scammed, like some people, they get scammed, like they call them, and unfortunately it still exists. It used to be before, like calling and saying, reading script, scamming the traders, and like make them to deposit amount of money and they lose it. And it still exists in some countries, to be honest, that they are still using it, some brokers, to scam people and target actually the like the normal people, and like who's relying on their pension or something like that. And so, and like my daughter, she called me and she said, Dad, I've seen this on YouTube and I want to go and open an account with cryptocurrency and all this stuff. And I said to her, it was a straight question. I said to her, have you ever seen me trading? She said, no. I said, okay, why you want to open it? Because they say that it makes a lot of money. And I said to her, okay, how do you know that it makes a lot of money? Do you know what is trading? Do you know what is it? Do you know how does it work? You know how you have to deal with it. You know how to, if you don't learn how to trade, right? And this is actually responsibility of the brokers. Brokers, they have to educate traders.
I agree.
Like, what is going to cost you to create like a webinar? Invite people. Actually, it's a marketing as well.
Yes.
Invite them, teach them. Just teach them how to be careful. It's not going to cost you. You're going to win anyway. So just teach them. So you have to learn and then go to trade. Otherwise, it's a gambling.
Unfortunately, this social media, as you mentioned, these shorts where they take these selfies in front of a Lamborghini and they say, look
and
at
the
me,
money
I've traded whatever. That
Yeah.
Lamborghini is rented, or maybe it's just, maybe they didn't even rent it. Maybe they found it in the car park and they take a picture.
Or the stacks of money, which is
stacks
fake.
of money, which, oh man, all of this. I think slowly people will start realizing that is all BS.
I hope, especially for the young ones.
Yeah.
Especially for the young ones. But at the same time, I mean, from the broker's point of view and technology providers today and all this stuff that is happening, using AI, non-using AI, or creating or developing technology on their side, they have as well to think from the ethical point of view at some point.
Agreed.
Not to create something that which can harm people. Because no matter what, like if you want to, definitely, if you are a brokerage firm and you are following like decent strategy and you make a good name and good reputation in the market, which will cost you millions and millions and a lot of time, which is very, very difficult to make your firm popular.
Yes, of
but
course.
It's very easy to destroy it.
Yes.
Very easy, because the good word doesn't spread very quick, but the bad word,
yeah, you know what they say.
It does.
I think there's a number out there somewhere. They say the statistics is when you do something good, Four people in your immediate network will hear about
That's
it.
true.
If you do something bad,
Yeah.
it's 11,
Exactly.
something like that.
Exactly.
So,
You know, they logic. I mean, if you want to market your product, whatever you have on your site, once you make a good impression on your clients, no matter what you're doing in the market, no matter what you're selling, even if you have a kiosk and you're selling snacks and water, and just by treating the consumer fair and a right way, and don't scam them, don't overprice them, which is happening as well at some brokers, that they are just like widening their spread and just like chopping the traders' head at some point. And one client who's trading, or like whoever is like whatever is consuming from your site or buying from you, if he have a good experience, logic, he will just, each one of us, like me, I have like, just in my house I have 6 people and I'm, let's say, number 7. Okay, so this is 7 people. So I have a good experience with Dinos. I'm just going to go to that 7 and imagine this 7 will go to speak to another 7,
of course,
by tomorrow, and afterward is going to speak to another and another and another and another. So this is a marketing, okay, just like by
mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth, exactly.
The 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it's much worth it than having like 10,000 billboards on the road, just like driving. Oh yeah, that's nice. This is a nice color. You don't read. You just like, oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's why like having creating a good reputation. Maybe it's the long way to generate, or the long term of generating profit, but when you achieve as a company to generate the revenue, this is like you just like accomplished your target. While you might do like the short way, which is in the forex industry most of the time, is scamming clients so they can make money or something like that. And you hear about these people everywhere. And
anyway, those guys run a short-term business. That's anyway. There's an expiry date.
That's true. That's true. And also this. I think it's good to talk about that, as a company as well, like from the side of like their employees. It's good to, because some employers as well in the market, because who's the best person like to market your product is your employees.
Of course.
Who's your image
of
outside
course.
is your employees. As a company, they are your image. They are who's marketing your product. They are the people that they should be at some point loyal to your company. And in order to achieve this point, like to get them to be loyal to your company, which you need it. They are working. They are in your house. It's like you have someone in your house.
Of course.
So he can steal you. He can do so many things to harm you if you don't treat them right.
Yeah.
It's very important for an employer, in my opinion, and based on my experience, is to share with their employees and to make them feel, even if you're bullshitting them, let's say, make them feel that they are part of the decision makers. Just sit down, talk to them. Like you have an ideas, or you want to have like new product or whatever it is, engage them. There's nothing to lose. Just make them feel that they are important. It's not like you're working here. Okay, this is your money, and it's not about money. And motivation is not only money, because there's as well some employers, they believe that motivation is only money. Like, if we give him a bonus, he will stop complaining. He will be happy. This is like a drag. You're just dragging him, but the issue is not being solved. You have to solve whatever issues on your side. So you can stop him as long as you have a good employee, that he's working hard, he's doing your business, he's achieving your goals. Like you draw the goal for this employee. You just told him like this is your task, this is your target, this is your KPIs. You have to achieve it. Of course, you have to arrange the right environment for this person in order to achieve the KPIs, which will generate revenues for your company.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Especially some companies that they are doing millions and millions of dollars. Okay. They're doing 6, 7 figures a year. There is no harm is that to engage these people and to make them feel like they are partners. They are your partners, especially for the ones that they spend like a long time with you, working with you, and they have achieved and accomplished big things in the market. There's no harm. Actually, you win. And by this way, you can create a good atmosphere and non-toxicated work environment, because it's very important these days. People, as you can see, actually most of the advertisement that we see today as well on the social media is talking about motivation, about depression, about stress, about anxiety, about this and this and this, because people, they have been hammered at some point by a lot of things that is happening in the world and the news and home and kids, and you have a lot of things like you're waking up in the morning, you feel like you're in an engine. It's like a diesel engine, like you started and talk, and it starts to work, and once it gets like ready to sorry, to move, you will see like it's flying. And then when you come to switch it at night, is like, you know, that also diesel engine, when you turn it off, it does like you turn off, but it talk. So everyone has problems in their lives, or they are facing or struggling in some issues, maybe parents, maybe they lost someone they love or something like that. So definitely it will affect them, it will affect the whole environment around them. But as long as they are effective in your company and they are doing their best and they are being loyal to you, they are doing the job, you are giving them the tasks, they are delivering. As long as they are delivering, make them part of this company. There is nothing to lose there. Actually, you will gain, because these guys as well, they will go and they will spread the word. So in case if you're hiring at some point, you will be able to find someone to work with you. Yeah. They won't be like, oh, these people, they're going to suck my blood and throw me. Because this is what is as well is happening. That's why we are seeing problem as well with the workforce. That many people, they cannot find, especially in our industry. We are working in the financial industry. It's very stressful industry. Very, very stressful. And some people as well, it's a beautiful industry. It's nice. You meet a lot of people, you network, you enjoy, especially if you like a fast, like to grow fast. You like challenges, because every moment you have challenges because of it's money. It's running.
It's fast.
It's the same, as you can see, the numbers is changing. You're working the same. Because so there's a lot of work, a lot of concentration. All these, at some point you need to, like, when you stop, you need to dump it somewhere. If you don't dump it somewhere, it's gonna kill you. So that's why I said when I spoke to you, I said, like, you told me I do work out 2 times a day. I said to you, good for you, Tino. Because every day I say, like, I want to work out, and it's not about time, it's a laziness. I want to start workout because it's something good, and it's the way to reveal stress. It's not like, as well, some companies as well, they give a wrong impression about the financial industry. It's like drinking or prostitutions or drugs, and you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that because you're in the financial industry. You don't need to do that.
It's the wrong image.
Exactly. It's the wrong image, like showing people, oh, the financial or the Forex industry, look at them.
They are Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly. This is
idea.
That's not right. That's not the right idea. And if it's right idea, you wouldn't see a guy which was a billionaire. He's just now working as I don't know if I don't know how they are going and watching him as well. This guy, I'm not sure.
Balfour, or whatever
It's like
his name is. Yeah,
it's like I don't know. So they consider him as an idol,
yeah.
unfortunately, which he scammed, and he made a lot of people to cry at the end of the day, and because of what he did. And so it's not necessary to show this type of have fun. If you want to do something, take your team, engage them in some activities, engage them, create like a soccer team, create like a basketball team, create an event, go charity instead of you wanna spend thousands of dollars on alcohol and drugs. Go give them some people that they need to eat today. That which is we are seeing a lot today because after the pandemic and based on the inflation that had happened in the market, you see that today there is like rich and poor.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of poor people that they need. They are suffering.
Yes.
We heard actually a few days ago, I think someone who attacked the Bank of Cyprus and
I heard that on
because
the
they are
radio.
taking his house. Something like that. Of course, the bank has the right because they lended this money. Let's be real. But at the same time, people, they are suffering.
Yeah.
They are not able to afford. So
Is that the story where there was some gunshots fired?
yes.
It was in Limassol, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this is what is happening today. I mean, just to go back on the financial industry, forex industry is beautiful, is doing well. Many people they live from it. Many people they are like we see companies like Exness, for example. They have hundreds and hundreds of team members working for them. We see company like Exam.
Yeah.
I mean, in Cyprus, I'm talking just based
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Cyprus. They have as well huge team on their side, TechMeal, others,
Mhm.
many, and decent companies at the same time in the
Yes.
market. Even like CFI or there are many Orbex.
Yeah.
There's a huge list
Yeah.
of brokers, decent brokers in the market. They are doing well. They are taking care maybe of their team, but at the same time, like when you want. Like my advice for the employer, engage them, make them part of your decision. As I said, even if you want to bullshit them, just give them this feeling of like I'm a partner, because when you make him feel as a partner and you give him like this type of motivation, he will give you more.
I think there are different people have different have ticks. So there are different motivations. Everybody ticks differently. Let's call it.
Yeah.
So some people might want to feel like they're part of the decision. Other people might be happy with leave me alone in my room. I just don't want to be bothered by anyone. I'm not a social guy, whatever it is. But the main point is, and I agree with that 100%, is any company is the people that work for that company, and as long as they're happy, as long as you keep them happy and fulfill them as much as you can at scale, because it gets obviously a lot more challenging the more people there are employed, right?
Yeah.
But Louay, we've been speaking this is the longest one we've had.
Oh.
It's been 1.5 hours. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't feel the time.
No.
We didn't feel the time.
It just flew
I didn't
past.
feel it.
Yeah.
When we started the discussion, I was like, "Oh, I've never done this before because I've never done it, to be honest." So I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll freeze in front of the camera."
It's all good.
So it's a great,
What
chat.
is Louay's future? Where do you move from here? What are you doing? Taking a break?
I'm for the moment I'm taking a break. At the same time, I'm looking for the right home.
And home is the place you're going to work. Yeah.
Exactly, is a right home. At the end of the day, we are spending time working more than with our family, so it's home.
Yeah.
Looking for the right home, the right place to be. Definitely should be a good environment. No toxic environments, because toxic environments won't benefit neither me or the employer or whoever I'm gonna be. There's no benefit having a toxic environment. I'll give you an example. Actually, I had a meeting with a guy. Like, it's a well-known company in the market as well. I had a meeting with him. I had like 5 hours meeting. Imagine.
He's asking for you to come to work
Yes,
for him. Okay.
to join. And we were talking for 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, imagine. I was like talking.
He's trying to convince you.
Yeah,
Okay.
talking. He changed his mind more than 6 times in this 5 hours. So I was like thinking, and afterward as well, talking to him and like chatting. He kept changing his mind. Everything that is being told during that meeting, different subject. And I was like, maybe I was rude with my answer to him. But I said to him, I'm really disappointed, first. Second, I'm really disappointed because you have changed the whole deal. He changed. During that night, around 5 times, and then he changed as well. He denied that he changed. And I said, how? There's no benefit. I'm not today, I'm not joining your company. And I'm not willing to join your company based on these type of environment. It's very important as well. This is something as well, it's really important. Yeah, no problem to change mind. I'm not saying like changing mind is wrong. No, it's right. But you cannot twist the words and put different things. Like we spoke about 1, 2, 3. You speak about 1, 2, 3. You cannot change it and destroy the whole thing. So how you want me to feel comfortable to work with you?
Right.
If it's from the beginning,
Changing the story.
Exactly. And it's not changing the story, changing the whole thing, the whole concept, the whole thing. Like, I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
you
for
will
example.
join as the operations manager, and then at the end of the conversation, you're actually going to be a customer support.
Something similar. Something like this. So
wait. You're going to join as the CFO,
yeah.
But actually, you're going to be flipping the burgers.
Yeah, that's true. and I was like, I didn't want even to continue communicating because, especially when you, honestly, when you reach like to the level of experience that you have experienced, you have built, like you have done an like achievement with your career and your experience. Don't let these type of people to take advantage on you.
Yeah.
This is my advice to everyone and in our industry or any industry. Don't let these type of people to take advantage on you, especially if you are not in need for work. If you are in need in work, just go work, just do something like that. But if you are not in need for work, don't let these type of people or to fool you or which is at the end of the day is not good for the company and it's not good for you. You will destroy yourself. Like they will take you to 0 point. Like you went to like 100 level, for example, or 1,000 level. These people, they will take you to 0 point, which you don't need it.
Yes.
You don't need it. And won't be something that you would be proud of. You will burn yourself. Yeah.
Speaking from experience here, Louay, I think this is a good insight. Generally, where can people find you?
In Limassol.
In Limassol.
In Cyprus.
In
okay.
Cyprus,
Yeah.
Limassol. They call Limassol the mini Dubai.
Yeah.
It's changed.
It is. Actually, it could be a mini Dubai, mini New York, mini Manhattan, or mini Cannes. So it's good. The development that it happened in Cyprus the last, let's say, 5-6 years. It's very good.
It's good. It's a beautiful place. LinkedIn, I guess they can find you.
Yeah, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best place that you can. And also, I'll be at the IFX, so definitely I'll see them there.
Yes, that's next week. So thank you very much, Louay, for your time.
Thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
And see you next week at the
expo.